Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Harinam Sankirtanam Mahayagna ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukhatamritatrava samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Puraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamana Tam Namami Harim Param. We are reading from first canto. Whatever purports you already heard from Srila Prabhupada, was this in the same order or was it different shloka you heard last week?
Last week you heard different shloka.
Okay.
We completed 16 for sure.
17 we think we complete, right? 17 we have. I have to speak on 17, but if you already heard. So we'll read from 1.1.17. तस्य कर्माण्युदाराणि परिगीतानि सूरिभिः ब्रूहि नः श्रद्दधानानां लीलया ददतः कलाः तस्य कर्माण्युदाराणि परिगीतानि सूरिभिः ब्रूहि नः श्रद्दधानानां लीलया ददतः कलाः.
तस्य कर्माणि उदारिणि परिगीतानि सूरिभिः ब्रूहि नः श्रद्दधानानां लीलया ददतः कलाः.
तस्य कर्माण्युदाराणि परिगीतानि सूरिभिः ब्रूहि नः श्रद्दधानानां कलाः
लीलया ददतः कलाः
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सुरभिः ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
ददतः कलाः
लीलया
ददतः कलाः
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि
परिगीतानि सुरभिः ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
ददतः कलाः
लीलया ददतः कलाः
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सूरिभिः
परिगीतानि सुरभिः
ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
लीलया दत्ता कलः
लीलया ददतः कलाः
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सुरभिः
परिगीतानि सुरभिः
ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
लीलया ददतः कलाः
लीलया ददतः कलाः तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि परिगीतानि सुरभिः ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
लीलया ददतः दधताः
लीलया ददतः कलाः
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
तस्य कर्माणि उदाराणि
परिगीतानि सुरभिः
परिगीतानि सुरभिः
ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
ब्रूहिणः श्रद्धानानां
लीलया ददतः कलाः
लीलया ददतः कलाः
तस्य his karmani
कर्माणि
transcendental acts
transcendental
udarani
उदाराणि
magnanimous
magnanimous
parigitani
परिगीतानि
broadcast surbihi
सुरभिः
by the great souls
by the great souls
bruhi
ब्रूहि
please speak
please speak
naha
नः
unto us
unto us
shraddadhananam
श्रद्धानानां
ready to receive with respect
ready to receive with respect
leelaya
लीलया
past times
pastimes
dadhatah
ददतः
dadhatah
ददतः
advented
advented
kalaha
कलाः
incarnation.
incarnation.
Does someone want to read the translation?
His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations.
Okay, someone wants to see the purport? No, it's a little difficult purport, so maybe some adult will be better. Yeah, go ahead.
The personality of Godhead is never inactive, as some less intelligent persons suggest. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His creations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain variegatedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls such as Srila Narada, Vyasa, Valmiki, Devala, Ashita, Madhava, Sri Chaitanya, Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, Sridhara, Vishwanatha, Baladeva, Bhakti Vinoda, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty and knowledge, but the spiritual realm is more magnificent due to its being full of knowledge, bliss and eternity. The material creations are manifested for some time as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom and can be likened to cinemas. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality and they take it for granted that the false material manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent men, guided by the sages like Vyasa and Narada, know that the eternal kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, and eternally full of bliss and knowledge. Those who are not conversant with the activities of the Lord and His transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in His adventures as incarnations, wherein He displays the eternal bliss of His association in the transcendental realm. By such activities, He attracts the conditioned souls of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in the false enjoyment of material senses, and others are in simply negating their real life in the spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis or fruitive workers or jnanis or dry mental speculators. But above these two classes of men in the transcendentalists known as Satvata or the devotee, who is busy neither with rampant material activity nor with material speculation. He is engaged with positive service of the Lord and thereby he derives the highest spiritual benefit unknown to the karmis and jnanis. As the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prathu and Vyasa are his material qualitative incarnations, but his incarnations like Rama, Narasimha, Varaha and Vamana are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations and he is therefore the cause of all causes.
Thank you, devotees. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya
मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापद्मनाभं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सावधूतं साद्वैतं परिजनासहितं
Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha
हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giri Yatkripatamam vande Shri Gurundarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shya karmani udarani. Udarani means very, very great.
very liberal. So, Bhagavatam is a means of meditation. Meditation on what? Meditation on what? Meditation on Krishna. When we say Krishna, what does it include? About what of Krishna? Qualities of Krishna, okay. What else? Yeah, pastimes of Krishna, qualities, pastimes, and then what else? What else you meditate when you think of meditation on Krishna? His qualities, his pastimes, okay. Huh? His beauty, okay, beauty of what? Of his
Lotus feet.
good, okay, beauty of his lotus feet, beauty of his form. Good, beauty of his form. So form, qualities, pastimes. One more is there. Huh? Just change one word in prem. Name. Name. So name, nama, rupa, guna, lila. So whenever we talk about meditation, it is meditation on nama, rupa, guna, and lila. So this whole Bhagavatam is a meditation on the lila. Within the lila, there is nama, rupa, guna, everything is there. But this lila can be approached only through the nama. That is why we are chanting the holy name. So when we are chanting the holy name, when we become sincere servant of the holy name, then the holy name will reveal itself, the form gradually. But anyway, tasya karmani udarani. This Bhagavatam is a description of Krishna's pastimes. And you might ask why? Why is my biography not written in Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the problem? Can someone say? What is the difference between my activities and Krishna's activities? Krishna's activities are pure. Okay. What does it mean to say pure? What is impure in my activities? They are material. Okay. What does it mean to say material? They're associated with Maya. Okay. What is we associated with three modes of material nature? Very nice. And what is the symptom of these modes? Lust, anger, greed. Okay. All bad qualities are present. Okay. So someone meditates on my pastimes, so-called activities, then what will happen? Same qualities, same three gunas. So this is the same story of any person, because we are all trying to meditate. Everyone in this world is trying to meditate. You cannot say, I am only going for meditation class. Everyone in this world is meditating. Pakka. But what they are meditating is different. And whatever you meditate, you will speak about it. Correct? If you meditate on something, you will speak about it. So the sadhus who are suribihi. Suribihi means what? They are very, very pious. They are very elevated. We say sura and asura. Right? So suribihi means one who is very pious, one who is very elevated. So parigitani suribihi. So who sings these pastimes of the Lord? Who are surbihi. They parigitani. They sing these pastimes of the Lord. Why? You are answered. It is because it is pure. It is beyond the three modes. And by hearing these pastimes, which are not mythological, sometimes people say, this is Hindu mythology. The word mythology comes from the word myth. Myth means what? Something that is not true. Correct? So Ramayana is not the mythology, or Mahabharata is not mythology, or Bhagavatam is not mythology. It is mythology for Asuribihi. Right? Yes. But for someone who is not on the transcendental platform, it is yes. So the sages are putting themselves in a very humble position. They are not saying we are very great. They are saying We want to hear these pastimes which have been spoken by the Suribihi. Guruhi, please tell these pastimes to us. Now, these pastimes are not concocted like, okay, Star Plus serial or Star something. They concoct these pastimes. Like Prabhupada is giving a very beautiful explanation. Who are all glorifying these pastimes of the Lord? It would be Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill. It could be Krishna being born. It could be Krishna playing with his cowherd boys. It could be Krishna playing with the gopis. It could be Krishna actually trying to kill Arishtasura or even Bhaumasura, Narakasura. So whatever Krishna is doing, or Krishna playing dice with the queens of Dwaraka. So all these, anything Krishna does is pure and transcendental. This is the foundation of reading Bhagavatam. Anything Krishna does. Krishna just breathes. It is transcendental. Krishna closes his eyes. It is transcendental. Now, who says that? It is too much. It is too much obsessive. If someone says like that, Prabhupada saying in the purport, you feel like that, but great self-realized souls. Who are the self-realized souls? Prabhupada saying in the purport. Narada, Vyasa, Valmiki, Devala, Sita, Madhva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramanuja Charya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarakacharya, Sridhara Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladeva Vidya Bhushana, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, everyone. This is just simply a glimpse. There are so many more devotees. And they are all glorifying these pastimes of the Lord. Their whole occupation from the time they woke up, from the time they went to bed, and from the time they were sleeping and dreaming, it is all to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord. And they're all very learned people. They're all very educated. They're very refined. They're very self-controlled. They're very disciplined. They've transcended the urges of the senses. Now they're glorifying the pastimes of the Lord. Now, are these pastimes of the Lord very sublime or are they very mundane? Sublime. Because it has been, someone has done it. Like for instance, if you say, I want to join my daughter in the school. Why? Because Bill Gates studied in the school. Because Bill Gates studied computer science in University of XYZ. Oh, he studied computer science. So I'm also going to study computer science here. Is it not? Is that not what we say? So similarly, all beautiful, learned devotees read Srimad Bhagavatam. They glorified the pastimes of the Lord. So when we want to practice spiritual life, we don't want to concoct. We want to follow in their footsteps. Very simple. So, Prabhupada is saying these material creations are like cinemas. And most people are interested in this material activities of these people. But Prabhupada is saying, but more intelligent men, guided by sages like Vyasa and Narada, know that the eternal kingdom of God is larger and it is eternally full of bliss and knowledge. This is why we are reading Bhagavatam. We are getting information. Someone is giving you valuable information. They're saying, how much are you making? I'm making for 40K. 40K? What are you doing? I'm a lead developer. You're making $40,000 as a lead developer? No, you shouldn't be making so much. It's so less. You know, I'm giving you information. There is an open role in my organization. Apply for that. I'll simply conduct an interview namesake and I'll give you 120, 180K for the same role you are doing. From 40K, I'll increase it to 180K. So someone is giving you information that you never had before. You thought you can only make 40K. That's all I can make. But you're getting information from someone. Similarly, everyone in this world is thinking that I have to be with this body. There must be disease. There must be old age. And this is all there is to life. These are my children. This is my wife. This is my husband. This is my job. I have to work very hard until 57, get my 401k, take care of my health, one day die. That's all there is to life. This is what most people think because they are in their narrow zone. But Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us information. What information? There is a place where these pastimes are actually happening every moment. There is a realm, this transcendental realm. And don't think this transcendental realm can be attained only after death. This transcendental realm can be accessed even right now. How do you access it? How do you access the realm? Chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. You can repeat after me. Golokera, Premadhana, Harinama Sankirtana. So this transcendental realm have been accessed by many devotees during their samadhi. Devotees access this transcendental realm and they get lost from this material world. They transport themselves from this material world and enter the spiritual realm. They sit on the Hare Krishna mantra. And the Hare Krishna mantra is like a flight. It takes you. It takes you off and then you go to the spiritual realm. And what you have to do is you have to fix your consciousness on Hare. On the Hare is like the bija, that you can say like that. So you have to fix your consciousness on the Hare. Keep it on. So and when you keep it on the Hara, then the Hara naturally transports you to the spiritual world of the pastimes of the Lord. So don't underestimate Hare Krishna mantra. Don't underestimate. It can transport us to the spiritual realm. And don't think this is all there is to my life. I have this disease. Oh, I have this job. I have this spouse. No, that's all. That's not what you are. That's what Krishna says. Prabhupada is saying. So, and Krishna, whatever activities he performs in the spiritual world, he does like a show in the material world also, like an internship. Like sometimes you have in these companies, right? You can invite your kids to the workplace. So many professionals, they bring their kids to the workplace. So the kids will be shown. This is where Papa sits. This is where Nana sits. This is where he goes and takes prasadam. So in this way the children are shown. This is how I work. So you get a glimpse. The kids get a glimpse. This is how it means. This is what it means to join a workplace. This is how the labs look. They have not seen anything else. They have just seen the school. They just know chalk piece, board, iPad, some laptop. They do not know how a manufacturing plant is, or they do not know how an office is. They do not know anything. I was pretty amused. First time I went to my father, of course, there was no corporate day or something. So my father took me to his office, and the first time I saw a free Xerox machine. So he said, you can take anything you want, Xerox. So we took like 50, 60 things and we were like very excited. So Xerox machine in the office, wow. And we couldn't believe ourselves. So the whole day we were coloring, me and my sister. Right, when I was in 4th grade, I remember. First time we went to my father's office. Very exciting. So you get a glimpse. Similarly, Krishna is trying to give us a glimpse. When he comes back and appears in this material world, and his appearance day is very soon coming. This is what we call Janmashtami. So Janmashtami is like a bring your kids to work day. Right? So, but instead of bring your kids to work, it is Krishna brings his work to your place, to our place. Bring your kids to work is you bring the kids to the workplace. But Krishna brings his own pastimes, the spiritual world, to the material world. And he's showing his pastimes. This is how it means. This is what I do with my devotees. If you want, you can come and be as my friend. If you want, you can become as my servant. If you want, you can become my lover. So this is real. This is real. Now, can our mind accept this as real? No. As soon as you get out of this place, you'll forget. You will not be impressed by this reality. How do you get impressed by this reality? So that is the mercy of Radharani. So Radhashtami, which comes right after Janmashtami. 21st, okay.
31st.
31st, okay. So this is, we have to get the mercy of Radharani. How do you get the mercy of Radharani? We have to struggle. Like we see, Krishna is telling, someone can project, maybe I can share. So when Krishna appeared to Devaki and Vasudeva, and Devaki and Vasudeva are glorifying Krishna as soon as he appeared. Devaki appeared very bright, and Krishna is glorifying. Sorry, Devaki and Vasudeva are glorifying Krishna, and Krishna is telling. It's coming. You can see. Okay, that's fine. You can read, right? So you can repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Tvam eva purva sarge bhuh Prishni swayam bhuve sati Tadayam sutapa nama Prajapatirakalmashaha. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, my dear mother, Devaki, best of the chaste women, in your previous birth in a Swayambhuva Manu, you were known as actually Prishni. So, Devaki was known as Prishni. And Vasudeva was named Sutapa. Was the most pious Prajapati. He was named Sutapa. Why Sutapa? Sutapa. Sutapa means what? Nice austerity. So, Sutapa performed nice austerity. So, when you take difficulties for Krishna, when you take difficulties for Krishna, Radharani's mercy will come for you. It will fall on you. Sutapa. The Sutapa performed great austerity. So, and then what else? You can repeat after me. Yuvam vai brahmana dishtau praja sarge yada tataha sanniyamendriya gramam te pathe paramam tapaha. When both of you were ordered by Lord Brahma, because he was one of the Prajapatis. So Brahma is ordering Sutapa and Prishni Garbha. You create progeny. So they went to honeymoon and they started bringing progeny, correct? No. So what did they do? You first underwent severe austerities by controlling your senses. So Prabhupada is writing in the purport, according to Vedic principles, before creating progeny, one must fully control the senses. You see? So, very nice purport. I'm not going into it. But Prabhupada is saying, one should not have children as a means of an accident. No, they must be planned. So people talk of planned parenthood. You have heard this? Planned parenthood. But that's not really planned parenthood. That is planned abortionhood. That's what they do in planned parenthood. But real planned parenthood is Garbhadana Samskara, where you actually plan. You plan the muhurtam of what is the right time of union between a husband and a wife. And after planning the muhurtam, you actually meditate on the Lord and you bring a progeny. Such a progeny will be very unique compared to the other children. Why? Because you're attracting that type of a soul. So, but Sutapa and Prishni performed, that is why his name was called Sutapa. Because by his own nature, he used to perform so nice austerity. And then Krishna saying, my dear father and mother, you endured rain, you endured wind, you endured strong sun. Someone can read.
Scorching heat and severe cold, suffering all sorts of inconvenience according to different seasons. By practicing pranayama to control the air within the body through yoga, and by eating only air and dry leaves fallen from the trees, you cleanse from your minds all dirty things. In this way, desiring a meditation from me, you worship me with peaceful minds.
Can someone read the purport?
Vasudeva and Devaki.
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva and Devaki did not obtain the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son very easily, nor does the Supreme Godhead accept merely anyone as his father and mother. Here we can see how Vasudeva and Devaki obtained Krishna as their eternal son. In our own lives, we are meant to follow the principles indicated herewith for getting good children. Of course, it is not possible for everyone to get Krishna as a son, but at least one can get very good sons and daughters for the benefit of human society. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that if human beings do not follow the spiritual way of life, there will be an increase of Varna
Shankara.
population will become like cats and dogs, and the entire world will become like hell. Not practicing Krishna consciousness, but simply encouraging artificial means to check the population will be fertile. The population will increase, and it will consist of Varna Shankara, unwanted progeny. It is better to teach people how to beget children and not like cats and dogs, but in control.
Pause here. So the point is, Vasudeva and Devaki performed sutapa. They performed great, nice austerity. And Prabhupada is saying here, someone can read this highlighted point.
Although it may not be possible to undergo tapasya like that of Krishna and Sutapa, the Shastra has given an opportunity for a method of tapasya very easy to perform, the Sankirtana movement. One cannot expect to undergo tapasya to get Krishna as one's child, yet simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Kirtanat Eva Krishnasya, one can become so pure that one becomes free from all contamination of this material world, Mukta Sangha, and goes back home, back to God at Param Prajan.
Very nice point. So we cannot perform. How many of you can do tapasya like Prishni, Garbha or Sutapa, eating only dried leaves? Eating only dried leaves, going to Beacon Hills Forest, and then standing there, just eating dried leaves, whatever is falling. Really? Wow. Wow. Okay, offering obeisances. Wow. No wonder all of you are like this. Very nice. So, I personally, definitely even cannot imagine, cannot even conceive. So, we cannot perform austerity like that. But the principle of austerity must be there. So, the principle of austerity is always there in all yugas. But in Kali Yuga, so if we actually perform austerity, and how long do they perform austerity? Prishni Garbha and Sutapa. Evam vam tapyatoho tivram tapa paramadushkaram. Paramadushkaram, very difficult to perform. Paramadushkaram. Divya Varsha Sahasrani. They performed 12,000 celestial years. Dvadasheyuhu Madatmano. Dvadasheyuhu Divya Varsha Sahasrani. 12,000 celestial years. Now, what is one celestial year? What is one celestial day, One celestial day is 6 months of this planet where we are living. That is one celestial day. And one celestial night is another 6 months. Now, like that, 1,000 years, not 1,000 years, 12,000 years. Wow. Prishni Garma and Sutapa performed tapasya. And when they performed like that. O sinless mother Devaki, after the expiry of 12,000 celestial years in which you constantly contemplated on me with the core of your heart with great faith, devotion and austerity, I was very much satisfied with you. When? At the end of 12,000 celestial years it took to meditate for Krishna to become pleased. Wow. I am chanting for 1 hour and I feel like I'm a great devotee. When there is prasadam, I chant 16 rounds. So 16 rounds is like a joke, actually, if you actually consider. 16 rounds is like a joke. So Prishni Garbha and Sudapa was like, what are you chanting? 16. Because they're very kind, they're very merciful, they won't say like that. But I'm saying, from the standard of their tapasya to get Krishna, because ultimately they wanted Krishna. And to get Krishna, like how much tapasya they have undergone. Just imagine. Imagine. Since I'm the best of all bestowers of benediction, I am called Varada. Varada Raja. Varada Raja. Raja means I'm the best. Raja means king. Varada means one who gives Varam Dadati iti Varadaha. So I'm Varada Raj. So I appeared in the same form as Krishna to ask you to take from me the benediction you desired. And then what desire did he express? Prishni Garbha and Sutapa. You then express your desire to have a son exactly like me. So then, being husband and wife, but always sonless, you are attracted by sexual desires for the influence of Deva Maya, transcendental love. You wanted to have me as your son. Therefore, you never desired to be liberated from this material world. After you receive that benediction and I disappear to engage yourselves in sex to have a son like me and I fulfill your desire. Since I found no one else as highly elevated as you in simplicity and other qualities of good character, I appeared in this world as Prishni Garbha, or one who celebrated as having taken birth from Prishni. So Prishni and Sutapa performed tapasya to have Prishni Garbha. So this is what the first time. But not just there. The next birth, I again came as Vamanadev. You came as Aditi, Devaki, and Vasudeva. You came as Kashyapa Muni. And I was born as Vamanadev. And then the same personality, me, have appeared again as your son for the third time. Take my words as the truth. So a very nice purport. So one must not think that it is a different lot. It is the same lot, right? I've shown you this form of Vishnu just to remind you of my previous births. Otherwise, if I appeared like an ordinary human child, you would not believe the Supreme Personality of God Vishnu has indeed appeared. So you can see here, Krishna is telling as soon as he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, to tell us actually that what did they do to actually get Krishna as their son. And don't think that in the incarnation, like in the appearance as Krishna, Devaki and Vasudeva did not perform tapasya. In that appearance also, Devaki and Vasudeva performed tapasya. What tapasya? What tapasya? So sometimes we think devotees means I should not have any problem. But Devaki and Vasudeva lost their children, one after another, one after another. Imagine, say I give birth to a new kid. You go to Henry Ford Hospital and someone takes the kid, dashes it against a rock, and they're dead. And you are a devotee. You're very pious. And not just one, not just two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very, very difficult to actually accept. But Devaki and Vasudeva did not complain. Devaki and Vasudeva did not say Krishna is bad. Krishna is bad. He's killing my 6 children. I'm such a great devotee. I'm in the prison house. I'm actually supposed to be a king. I'm born in a great dynasty. What is Krishna doing to me? I'm a Kshatriya. And I'm in the prison house for what? Just because I want Krishna. Because I want to serve Krishna. Where am I? I'm in the prison house. Because I want to bring Krishna. So Vasudeva and Devaki did not complain. They endured this tapasya. They endured. Similarly, in the Grihastha ashrama or at work or whatever, we might undergo inconveniences, for sure. But if we endure that tapasya and do not give up the attitude of wanting to serve Krishna and be consistent and we show up to Krishna, then gradually Krishna will also be born in our life. We have to endure tapasya. To give birth to Krishna is not so easy, but it is not so difficult also by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All we have to do is stick to your prescribed number of rounds of chanting. Don't reduce it. Stick to it. That is our tapasya. That is the only tapasya we need to do. Stick to your prescribed rounds of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. At least the quantity, if not the quality. Fix the quantity and fix it. And then if you can, then add more step by step. Try to fix to prasadam. In this way, whatever you can, step by step. The most important is fix to your prescribed rounds of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. If you do so, you don't give it up under some situations. Vasudeva and Devaki did not give up. They actually intensified more. So, if we also do that, then we will see maybe on Wednesday or Thursday when we observe Janmashtami here at NJD. So, I will share how Krishna was born to Vasudeva. Similarly, in our own life also, Krishna is born. What does it mean to say Krishna is born? The consciousness of Krishna is born. We become conscious of Krishna. Ajayamano bahudha vijayate. Krishna is unborn. Though he is unborn, ajopi san avyatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Ajopi san avyatma. He is avyatma, he is ajaha. But bahudha vijayate. He is born. Just like we see, Narasimha was born from the pillar. How is he born? He was always there. But he chose to appear for the sake of his devotee. Similarly, Krishna is always there within your heart, within the holy name. But when he is pleased with our attitude of service, with our attitude of consistency, with our attitude of chastity, with our attitude of consistency, when he is pleased with that, then Krishna chooses to reveal himself in our own flower, in our own lotus heart of consciousness. And we'll be able to appreciate Krishna. If we are able to appreciate Krishna, that means we are seeing Krishna right now. Krishna is manifesting before us. One cannot appreciate Krishna without Krishna actually appearing before us. You see? So these sages of Naimisharanya were eager to hear about Krishna's activities. So everything in Bhagavatam is completely transcendental. So we should spend our valuable time in reading, hearing, meditating on Srimad Bhagavatam and not on material topics, which are the activities of the conditioned souls. But meditating on that, we'll again and again be ourselves contaminated by these modes more. And by doing so, we will again be coming back to this material world. So we should, with great carefulness, with great diligence, try to Udarani Parigitani, right? The Leelaya of the Lord. So having said that, I'll stop here. Any questions or comments? Yes.
In the flow that we read in the Bhagavatam, they mentioned there are two types of incarnations, material quality and transcendental. Can you briefly explain the difference between both? Because I've heard about the transcendental incarnations, but I'm hearing about the material incarnations for the first time.
Where is the material incarnation?
It's in the last paragraph. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prithvi.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it. Okay, so there are Guna avatars. So Guna avatars are the avatars, and something they are also called Shakti Avesha avatara. Shakti Avesha avatara, Guna avatara. There are different types of avatars. So these two avatars, or Guna avatars and Shakti Avesha avatara, is meant for Krishna to upkeep this material world for different activities. Like for instance, take Vyasadeva. So Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vyas Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasishthaya Namo Namah. So he is actually the incarnation of the Lord. But he's not like an incarnation of the Lord, like Lord Rama or Nrsimha. Vyasadeva is actually a Jiva. He's a Jivatma, he's not Paramatma. But the Lord invests the literary potency within Vyasadeva. So he could actually compile the Vedas. So it is a material incarnation in that sense. So these are not completely transcendental. But it is good incarnation. It doesn't mean it's a bad. Material does not necessarily mean bad. It just means it is not simply completely on the transcendental platform. Similarly for the case of Parashurama. Parashurama is not an incarnation of the Lord in the absolute sense. He is a Shakti Avesha Avatara. Parashurama, Shakti means potency, Avesha means entered. So the Lord invested the potency of Kshatram. Kshatram means the sense of fighting spirit within a jiva. So he becomes Parashurama. Similarly, the sake of, I think he also says Narada here, okay, Prithu Maharaja. So Prithu Maharaja is another incarnation. So these are all Shakti Avesha avatars. And there is Guna Avatara. Guna Avatara means, like for instance, Brahma is also an expansion of the Lord. In one sense, Brahma is not different from the Lord. And Rudra is also an expansion of the Lord, in one sense. What does it mean? It is an incarnation where the Lord accepts certain gunas and he becomes that personality. So when the Lord wants to perform the function of creation, he expands himself into the guna avatara, accepting the position to lord over Rajoguna as Brahmaji. But Brahmaji is not the Lord. But Brahmaji is a guna avatara of the Lord. So the guna avataras of the Lord, by their swarupa, are different from the Lord. But they have their sources from the Lord for the performance of a certain material function. But the swarupa of Brahmaji and the swarupa of the Lord are different. Just like we see, Hiranyakashipu is performing meditation on Brahma. But Hiranyakashipu is not getting purified of material desires. After even he saw Brahma. We see Ravana performing meditation on Rudra. But Rudra is coming before Ravana. But Ravana's mentality is not getting purified. Why? Because the Swarupa of Rudra, the Swarupa of Brahma, is different from Swarupa of Bhagavan. So one cannot think that worshipping Brahmaji and worshipping Lord Hari is the same. No, it is not the same. The fruits accrued thereof are different. We see this from many pastimes. Like Jayadratha also worshipped Lord Shiva. You see Vrikasura worshipped Lord Shiva. Same thing, Dhruva Maharaja worshipped Lord Hari. He had a material motive. But though he had a material motive to start with, similarly you also see Gajendra. He had a material motive to start with when he worshipped Hari. But when he had darshan of Hari, the material motive went away. It did not stay. It did not stay. So this is the difference between the Swarupa of the Lord and the Swarupa of the Guna avatars of the Lord. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are the Guna avatars of the Lord. But the fruits of worshipping Brahmaji, Rudradev, or Lord Shiva or Hari, they are different. This is very clearly mentioned in the Shastra. Sometimes people, especially Hindus, make this point, more normal Hindus, that any worship is the same as any other worship. It is not true. If it were the same, then there would not be different days for different devatas. You worship this devata, you worship, you follow this fast. For this fruit you worship here. If you don't have children, you go to that place. Why different prescriptions? Because the fruits of worshipping the different devatas are actually different. So Swarupa, it is different. But in one sense, because the source is the same, it is called a Gunavatara. Okay? Any other question? You have a
Prabhu, Kansa when heard that eighth child will be the one cause for his death, then he agreed that okay, okay, I will not just kill other kid, but I will just try to wait for the eighth one, then why?
Kamsa is very fickle.
Then
So
why-
Naradaji wants to actually fasten the advent of Krishna. So Naradaji comes and actually, scares Kamsa.
Yeah.
So he wants to accelerate the appearance of the Lord. And he also wanted to accelerate the 6 people who were actually killed at the hand of Kamsa. They had actually gotten a curse. They were actually persons in the celestial planets. And they were cursed to actually take the body in the earthly planet. So Naradaji wanted them to finish the curse fast and go back to their places. So there is a background for these. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
Prabhu, so Krishna and Sutapa,
Yes.
they did their penance, right?
Yes.
For 2000 celestial years.
Yes.
Was it in Earth or a different world?
So it was actually on the Satya Loka because it was Prajapati. So for them, those 12,000 celestial, good question. For them, the 12,000 celestial years is not so much. I think Prabhupada raised it in the purport. Somewhere here. Right. The question you are asking. Yeah, I'll try to get the exam purport. But it is actually in the Satya Loka. Prabhupada is saying. 12,000 years on the celestial planets is not a very long time for those who live in the upper planetary systems. Although it may be very long for those who live on this planet. Sutapa was a son of Brahma. And as we already understood from Bhagavad Gita, one day of Brahma equals many millions of years according to our calculation. We should be careful to understand that to get Krishna as one son, one must undergo such great austerities. So Prabhupada is saying actually because son of Brahma, so his consciousness would also be very high. Time is very relative. Right? So for Prishni and Sutapa, 12,000 years is not as great as 12,000 years for us.
And Prabhu, since there will be they don't have a body, right?
They have a body. Everyone has a body. Depends what the body is made of. So our body is made of earthly elements. That is why we are in Bhuloka.
So will they also feel pain like
Yeah, they feel pain, but the pain is very different. Like for instance, Indradev also feels pain. But Indradev's pain is not out of having cold or sneezing or something like that. Indradev's pain is more mental usually. Right? Because the Devas, they are not on the earthly platform. That is how they can travel. So pain is there. Abhrama bhuvana lokaha punaravartino arjuna. But the type of pain and the extent of pain is different. Like for instance, in the higher celestial planets, there is no death, so there is no disease, there is no old age. But there is birth and death.
and probably when they consume dry leaves, is it also same sugar is that like also
Yeah, so so when they consume dry leaves, it is the same earthly situation. Yes, that's what I understand. But again, their capacity to perform austerity will be far greater because they're direct descendants of Brahmaji. What those dry leaves are, is it different from the dry leaves of earthly planet? I do not know. I have to research. Any questions? Yeah.
Actually, those plants also will take how
How birth death happens?
they take
Satyaloka, Brahmaji leaves after his 100 years are over.
simply that body whatever is.
Yeah, he gives up his body. It is not like car accident or something here, but he can choose, but he himself will realize that his time is over. So they gracefully exit the body. Here we are forced to get out of the body, but in higher planetary systems, especially above Svar Loka, Mahajana, Tapa, Satya, they themselves will know. Like Bhishma Dev knows, I need to leave. and Vishwadev himself was leaving. Similarly, when you go to Maharjana, Tapa, Satya Loka, they themselves know because they are not here to enjoy and they are not afraid of death also. They are all afraid of death here, right? So they exactly know where I'm going next. You see? So
Body forms will be same, but we generally
we cannot understand those forms. Our forms we can meditate are all earthly, made of earth. Like for instance, the scientists are going to the moon and they're saying there is no one in the moon. But Shastra says no, there are people in the moon. But the bodies are made of a completely different substance that we with our earthly eyes cannot see. Just like we say there is no life on the sun. But that's not true. There is life in the sun. So there are beings in the sun. But we can't see. But their bodies are predominantly made of fire. But we can't see those.
Prabhu, if we have not seen, nobody has seen.
That is why we are seeing Shastra.
But how Brahma having 3 heads and all.
4 heads.
4 heads Brahma is having, how those were known to us.
That is what Shastra. So Shastra is there for something that is pratyaksha atitam. That is beyond pratyaksha. We can never know. Right? But we get some information. And based on that information, of course, the information also should be intellectualized. And for that to be intellectualized, you need to actually have a certain shraddha to actually believe in it. People in Rajoguna and Tamoguna cannot have that shraddha because Rajoguna means narrowed down to a certain framework. So a person in Sattva Guna only can actually have faith in Shastra. Rajas, Tamas cannot have faith in Shastra. They have faith only within their narrow experience of where they are. Clear? Okay. Thank you. If no one has any questions, Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Devotee Vaishnava ki, Vancha Kalpa Sandhushta Kripa Sindhu Ki,